Yep. Hi there. Yeah, I've got a Sega Game Gear that's in need of some love. And when I say I've got, this isn't actually mine. This belongs to my brother. And it's in absolutely immaculate cosmetic condition. So I need to make sure it stays that way. So yeah, I'm going to be very, very careful with this. But as you've seen, it doesn't work. We've got no sound, we've got no picture. Now, these are susceptible to rotted capacitors when they get older. They're very well known for it, and I'm hoping that's what the issue is, but you never really know till you get into these things. But I have ordered all the caps that I think I need for this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to tear into it. We're going to change them, and we're going to see if we get any sort of response out of it after that. So yeah, let's get into it. So on the back we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 screws, and under the battery covers 2 more, and we've got a security bit as well, so that'll need to come out. That should be the same as a Nintendo, I think. Nope, not that one. Try a bigger size. Yep, there we go. So we're in. Lovely. Right, let's buzz the rest of these screws out. Will that open? Yes, it will. Right, we're in. Cool. Right, I'm looking inside and I'm not seeing any evidence of leakage, which is always nice. But we have got these electrolytics and they're all going to need changing. They will have failed. On the main board, that would be the power board. So we've got some through holes there. And over here we've got the soundboard and we've got some surface mounts. And they're always fun to change, aren't they? Yeah, I have to be very, very careful with those. So I think we start with the power board, and I'll remove that first and I'll recap that first. Easy as that. Right, okay. So this looks pretty straightforward. We've got 3 through-hole caps. That shouldn't take long. Oh, right, what have you got for me? Let's get some flux. Always good. Yeah, might be a slight sign of leakage there, which you're probably not going to see on the camera, but ever so slightly. Let's clean that up. Just a little bit of IPA. And get in there. Lovely. Right, what are we looking at? An 820 microfarad. Okay. And that's the replacement. Yep, I think it's slightly higher, but I think we'll get away with it. Okay, one down. Let's have you next. Right, one board down, two to go. Lovely. You won't see it on the camera, but we've got some definite leakage there. That's pretty grotty. Yeah, these have definitely let go. I can actually see the electrolyte. So hopefully we can get them off the board without doing any damage, and hopefully I don't need to do too much repairs, but I won't know till I actually get these capacitors off and clean the board up, how much damage has been done. We'll see. Right, there's a couple of ways I can get the caps off. One is more destructive than the other, and my preferred option is to go in, cut them near the base, and then desolder the legs. I've never had a problem doing that before, but let's try the easy way first. Let's try just with the soldering iron and see if we can get in there. But it just depends how bad this corrosion is, whether I can lift them like that or not. Let's give it a go. I'll try a little bit of flux first. Let's try and get this big bugger off. Let's just see if I can lift it. Just put a little bit of solder on my tip. Pardon me. Oh, it's got that horrible fishy smell to it as well. They are not letting go with the soldering iron. I don't have a hotter rework station, so I'm going in with the cutters. As long as I'm not cutting too close to the base, I should be okay. Alright, let's see what we can do. Yeah, that went. I've cut it now. Get the remains of the capacitor off without damaging the board. At least that's the plan. Yeah. You see, if I do it like that, the legs stay intact. I can just lever this off. I'm sure there'll be people shouting at me now this is not the correct way to do it, but you know what, I've never had a problem, so... Oh yeah, you can... I don't know if you'll see it in the camera, but you really can see some corrosion there. That's not good at all. Let's clean this up. I think the board's okay. Well, time will tell. Right, let's try again with the soldering iron. Let's get right onto these legs. Yeah. There's one. There's the other one. While I'm here, let's get this other one out. That ended up on my window ledge. Fantastic. And I think the board has survived. I think we've been lucky. Let's have another one. Yeah. Okay, I think we've got all those off without any pad damage, so I'm going to get some solder braid and we're going to clean up these pads a little bit, and then we'll give the whole thing a wipe down with IPA and get rid of all this caustic, horrible electrolyte. Okay, start with this one, I think. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tin up the pads and then I'm going to slide in the new capacitors. I'm going to do it off camera because I really need to get in with some magnification because my eyesight is terrible. And I'll bring you back when it's done. Okay, we're done. It's just drying off, it's just full of IPA at the moment, but yeah, they all went on easy-ish, I suppose. Hopefully it'll all work. It's not the neatest bit of soldering, but then I'm a hobbyist, what do you want? Cool, right. Third and final board, the big one. Okay, let's have a think. They're the capacitors. They seem to be stuck to the board. But are they just held in with a little bit of varnish? I suspect they probably are. So yeah. Oh yeah, I give them a little twist and that's away from the board. I can desolder that now quite safely. Alright, again, I'm just going to go round and do these off camera because I really need to get in with some magnification. I'll bring you back when it's done. Don't know if you'll see this or not, but I've just pulled the first one off and yeah, that's been leaking. So hopefully we've caught these in time. We'll see. Right, one pile of bits and one recapped console. So fingers crossed it all works, but really there's only one way to find out, so I need to put it back together and test it, I suppose. Okay, let's put it back together, if I can remember how it went. Well, you went there. Definitely. Before I put any screws in it, let's test it. Okay. Ah. Okay. That's something. So we have sound, we have video. There is a few lines on the screen though. Okay, so these don't have the best angle. Let me turn that down. Where's the... Ah, there we are. So these don't have the best screens anyway, but yeah, this one does have a fault. There were a few lines in the screen which seem to have disappeared as it warms up, apart from this one at the top. Now, if it was my machine, I'd dig a bit deeper and I'd risk potentially some damage trying to figure out what was wrong with it and maybe order a new screen as well, but it isn't mine. So I'm going to leave this here, I think. It's working now. Picture's good apart from that line. The sound's excellent. It's playing games perfectly fine. Yeah, this can go back to its owner. So I'm happy with that. It cost a few quid in capacitors and that's all that was wrong with it. Excellent. So I'm going to leave this here and thank you very much for watching and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye. Right, so a little bit of bonus footage. It's the next day, and if you look at the screen, it's absolutely fine. And all I've done was leave it on for a few minutes, and it seems to have cleared up. Whether or not it'll stay like that, I doubt. But yeah, it's working fine now. So we'll see how it goes. I'm expecting once it cools off again for that line to come back, but you know, who knows. So I've been zipping through and trying a few of the games out, and what I've found is about half of them don't seem to work. So I'm going to put that down to dirty contacts, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to clean all the cartridges. And to do that properly, I want to get it out of the case. So on the back there's a game bit screw, so that just needs to be undone. I think 3.5mm, I think. So I'll just whiz that out. And some cases will open by sliding, apparently. Not this one. It's going to need just a bit of persuasion from the side. So we just twist it a little bit to get a flat blade in there, just so I can give it a little bit of encouragement. There it goes. Lovely. And there's our board. And I have grounded myself, so no danger. I'm just gonna, I don't know if you'll see it on the camera, but there are some dirty marks on there, so let's hit it with some contact cleaner. Just do the same with the cloth, and we'll just give it a very gentle clean. Shouldn't need much, and already I can see the marks are starting to shift. That's looking better. Let's give it a little bit more work. Okay, I can go back in its case now, so effectively we're just reversing what we've already done. Press the case back together, put the screw in. Now with the screw, I'm not going to use the screwdriver, I'm just going to use the bit itself. Because I'm screwing into plastic and I really don't want to over tighten this and do any damage, so you really just want to snug it up and not overdo it. There we go, that's plenty. Doesn't need to be any tighter than that. If you start screwing these things down, you're going to do damage. Yeah, okay, I'm going to do that another 10-12 times for the other cartridges now. So yeah, now I'm done.